The MC reveals himself to everyone attending the circus. Clown Mask couldn't believe that he was here. He tells the guards to kill him as he had no weapon with him, but the MC had Beelzebub's skill. He cuts down the guards easily. Clown Mask notices the red and horrific aura as the huge man swings a weapon. As the MC rushes towards him, the weapon comes close to the MC face, but he simply smiles at it. The guard is surprised at this as blood is seen. The MC cuts through the weapon, and the huge man, as he was a graduator, the huge man wonders how someone at that age was a graduator level. The Clown Mask knew that the graduators were the ultimate weapons, and that they had no chance. Chihuahua was also surprised at the MC's strength, but he notices something. Clown Mask shouts at the MC to look over here. He tells the MC to drop his weapon and surrender so that Chihuahua does not lose his life. But the MC remains silent, so Clown Mask asks him if he could not understand what he was saying. Chihuahua struggles but yells out to the MC that he was all right and to look after himself. Clown Mask tells him to stop struggling, but Chihuahua continues to speak out, telling the MC that things like injustice and compromise does not exist for him and that he would rather die than be a burden to his superior. The MC laughs at this, saying his loyalty was great. He tells him not to worry because he had received a trump card from the patriarch showing them a whistle. The MC takes a deep breathing and blows hard into the whistle. The sound of the whistle stuns everyone in the room due to the sharp and wild noise. The MC stops blowing and stares at them. Clown Masks soon chuckles nervously as nothing had happened. He tells him that even a graduator can't do anything here, but something enters his throat. As he looks down, a figure appears behind him as he falls. Chihuahua screams as the man sheets his blade. A man asks who the figure was as he tries to attack him, but the figure slices the man in three like pie. Blood flies everywhere as the crowd screams, but the MC simply smiles. Soon a bunch of men enters the room wearing hoods and swords. Their very presence silences the room. They stare with an intense look. The guards in Sydney see them and slowly began to realize who they were. The Empire's most brutal knight, order known as the Annihilation Experts, who were all graduators. Cindy knew them as the Baskerville clan's Pitbull Night Order, just as one of them came from behind her. She turns and sees him, thinking that she can't die in a place like this. But the MC appears, telling the man to leave her alone. He obeys and leaps back to kneel, as the MC tells them to rip the rest of shreds and kill the ones not lying down. Immediately the man obeys the MC command and disappears. The MC recalls that Hugo was sensitive about military power and was relieved he could use the pit bulls without trouble. The pit bulls continue to slaughter the people as one of them thinks to get on the floor and run away once it quietens down. But a pit bull sees him. He tells the pit bull he would wear the handcuffs. But the pit bull tells him that they don't carry handcuffs. Instead, they sliced off the legs of those they capture. A cigar is lit as the man says that those who are to be executed won't need their legs. As a man wearing sunglasses appears beside the MC, he asks the MC how it felt to command the Pitbull Knights. The man was the commander of the Pitbull Knights Boston Terrier Le Baskerville. He looks at the MC and sees why his brother Hugo was so interested in him, as the MC was already fierce and cruel at the age of 15. So he rubs his head, telling him to come to the Pitbull Knights so he can raise him properly. The MC tells him he would think about it. The MC shrugs him off, telling him he had something urgent to attend. This makes Boston want the MC even more, and the MC thinks of him as burdensome. The MC enters a room filled with various cages, thinking that what he wanted was around here. He looks at a safe, knowing that it contained the money that the nobles were paid with, which will be given to the city hall to be taxed, and soon notices a certain cage. He pulls out the cover and sees something, a voice for moaning in pain. It was the female barbarian that was being auctioned. She moans in pain as tears fall from her face. The MC took a closer look at the barbarian girl, seeing that she was tormented before being dragged here, making him angry. He tells her she was lucky as he reveals a red and blue potion on his waist, and that he was giving it to her out of kindness. She drinks the potion and its effects are seen on her body. All of a sudden she awakens and dashed to the back of the cage as the MC asked her why she was so surprised. She looks at him and wonders all her wounds have healed. The MC tells her to go in her language. She slowly comes up the cage as the MC points to the exit, while still telling her to run away in her language as he knew. The basics of her language from fighting the barbarians countless times in the past. but she yells out a bunch of words that the MC couldn't understand as he was not that fluent. But before she left the place, she turns to Vakir and spoke something in her language. The MC believes that she was thanking him and began to look for what he came here for and found it. It was the Mercial's corpse that was being auctioned before. Beelzebub suddenly became active. It screams out loudly, as it has been a while, that it had feasted on an A-rank monster. So the MC tells it to quickly consume the corpse before the pitbull order arrives. Beelzebub was happy. Soon, rumors of what happened at the circus spreads in the town, and that nobles and participants were taken to the Underdog City prison with their limbs torn off. In that day, the building burned, and the entire club of Burning Suspension burnt down and disappeared. With the heads of the club's VIPs were put on display, which created more awareness towards criminal acts. The 7 families who lost their children sent letters of protests to the administrative office. But the reply they received was firm, that the death penalty was given to the criminals involved with the Imperial's family most forbidden act, the legal slave trading, and that the bank drafts, ledger books, and other evidence were found by the Baskerville family and will be reported to the Imperial family soon. The patriarchs of each of the 7 families came. They kneeled down and apologized, which was unprecedented, as they were begging their enemy who killed their sons. However, the MC reply was simply that due to the investigation, the 7 families' assets will be confiscated, and on the charge of treason 3 generations will be destroyed soon. The floor of the execution ground were filled with the dirty blood of the city's corrupt vermin. This resulted in love from the citizens as crime and employment rates were lowered, making the welfare of Underdog City restored. The next day, Chihuahua tells the MC he had brought him coffee with a smile on his face. The MC tells him to do his job and not bring coffee, but Chihuahua tells him that it was a sign of thanks for saving him from Clown Mask. The MC tell him he was being stingy by bringing him just coffee, but Chihuahua assures him he also placed 2 spoons of sugar creamer and a little bit of water. He then asks the MC how his transcribing training was going, so the MC asks him to check his progress, and Chihuahua was impressed with the MC writing as he was very good, but Vakir tells him that he still has a long way to catch up. Thinking deeply, Chihuahua was amazed by Vakir's acts of being able to create new laws from the words he learned and was able to comprehend knowledge of law easily. He thinks that if the cure stayed here, Underdog City will develop even more. Night arrives as the moonlight reaches between the bars. A person is handcuffed. The MC tells Sydney that he was sorry for not visiting her sooner as he was busy with things lately. He asks her if her real name was Sinua Nissan Rose, but she asks him why he let her live. He removes the blindfold, telling her that he wants to ask her a few questions. She stares at him, asking if questions were why he let her live. The MC turns away, asking her if she was the reason why Baron Gambino was able to grow his power so quickly. But she remained silent. He pulls out a chair, telling her that her ability to earn money was impressive, and had she grown her talent in other places, she would have become a great merchant or banker. Then he promises her that once she answers his questions, he will let her go. But if she doesn't, she will regret her actions today. She agrees to answer his questions, so the MC asks her if she thinks he has been enforcing the law well. He tells her to answer seriously, or he won't keep his promise. This makes her upset. She tells him that he was doing well. The reply makes the MC grin widely. He walks over to her, slowly grabbing her attention, as he slowly raises his hand towards her, lifting her face close to his as he looks her straight in the eyes and asked her what the reason was. The MC was staring intensely. She trembled with fierce sweat drips down her face. As he slowly lets go of her face, he walks back to the chair, wanting to hear from her what he was doing wrongly. She grits her teeth, hesitating to answer. But she explains anyways that a consul's important factor was virtue, and that even though his laws had reduced crime, many citizens will soon die and suffer from those laws in the long term. It will cause hatred and rage from the people. Furthermore, the Baskerville family will also not welcome him, as he is gaining too much power than the clan leader in Underdog City. The MC adds on, saying that eventually he will be hated by the people and even become a threat targeted by the Baskervilles. So he looks at her and asks her what he should do. She tells him to return all the power and achievement to the clan leader, and that he needed to stop getting attention by going to the Lunar Mountain or the Academy in the Empire to hide his powers and wash his identity. And when the time comes, the Baskerville clan leader will be the one to suffering instead. The MC hears this and remains silent. But soon she felt an immense pressure as the MC asks her that what she said means that she wants the hunting dog to bite off his own owner's neck as Hound Shadows emerges. He stares at her with immense power, but she does not relent easily. She furthers tell him that as a haunting dog, this was the only way for him to avoid hatred. The MC smiled to what she said. He tells her that he would keep that in mind, surprising her. The MC takes out a key telling her it was good advice and was almost identical to his own idea. He removed the handcuff telling her she was free, but she was hesitant. But the MC assures her he always keeps promises. She turns to leave, telling him she hopes that the day he regrets what happened today never comes. But before she leaves, the MC asks her if she knew the clan Mesa Medinaro, which stops her in her tracks. He goes on to tell her that the clan were merchants who were rich and were once the 8th clan. But an unfortunate event caused the clan to end. Hearing this made her grip her fist tight. The MC recalls the history that the young master of the Mesa Medinaro clan wanted to show off his sword skills in his birthday celebration. The demo started, and the people couldn't believe what they were seeing. The young boy was showing off the secret Baskerville sword techniques that only members knew. This later reached the ears of the leader of the Baskerville family, confirming that top-secret information had been leaked, releasing the hunting dogs of the family, causing the Mesa Medinaro clan to go extinct. But the truth was, it was the young demons of the Seven family that made the young master learn the stolen techniques. Cindy smiles awkwardly, asking the MC what that story had to do with her. The MC continues the story, saying that there was a survivor from the clan, that the 7 idiots had sneaked out a 1-year-old girl from the devastation, all because the girl was beautiful. She went through cruel and unusual torture acts, so horrible that even Vakir couldn't talk about it. Hearing this made Cindy grit her teeth hard. She turns to leave, telling the MC she doesn't want to hear anymore, but the MC tells her there was more to the story, and time passed, and a new deputy came to the city, managing to drag out the old problems out of the city and punish them, as the trigger for everything was the 7 idiots, and that the new deputy made sure that the 7 idiots were tortured properly, and they admitted their crimes as they met their end, making them say their last words. "I'm sorry for committing such a heinous crime," or so they say. Hearing this made Cindy tear up as she turns to look at the MC. She yells at him, wondering who the hell they were saying sorry towards, and Vakir tells her that the sorry was meant for the young girl using the fake name Cindy Onyson Rose, the sole survivor of the Mesa Medinaro clan, but Cindy could not believe him, telling the MC how she was supposed to believe him when he tortured them. The MC grabs a torch, telling her that it would be easier for her to see with her own eyes. They reached a certain cell where he told her to take a look. Tears fall from her eyes as she was alarmed from what she saw. Bodies and walls were covered in blood everywhere in the cell she looked in. Words were written on the floor with blood as the 7 idiots confessed, saying they were sorry and they begged for forgiveness. The scene before her made Cindy throw up. The MC walks towards her, saying there was still one clan left to hate, and tells her to hate the Baskerville clan. She had more than enough rights to do so. She wipes her mouth, staring at him. She asks him why he was helping her even though he was part of the Baskerville clan. But Vakir tells her she was asking the wrong question. She pauses for a moment, then tells him she understands what he was trying to say. She stands up, telling him that she will repay this debt. As she makes her exit, she tells him that whatever he does for the rest of his life, he will never worry about money ever again. This brings a smile to the MC face as he tells her that he will remind her of this promise in the future.